Seconds, Corey. What's up, everybody? Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on Cheesehead TV, wherever you are in the world, because we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. It's good to be back, fully operational, as the Emperor would have it. We're back on all the platforms, chatting some Packers after the 6th training camp practice here in Green Bay. Corey Banke is back in the house, making sure I get back to New York. They're working their magic there. And I'm here with you fine folks on the chat. Everybody already here. It's amazing. Incredible to see you all. Hello, Brett. Thanks for stopping by. Owen drove from Idaho, and he's at Lambeau. He's right there, or somewhere over there. Chad, hello. Favorite part of the day, Eric. I hear you, man. Mine too. Hello. What's up, Timo? So, Josh, I've seen a couple Josh Jones questions already, and I'll just cut to the chase on Josh Jones being benched at practice today because of a physical hit, tackle to the ground on Tra Carson that he had on a toss play to the left. What no one is seemingly talking about is, and they were literally coming right at me when it happened. Tony Brown was out on the edge, and Carson absolutely obliterates Tony Brown, knocks him to the ground with a lowering of the head, and Josh is reacting to that. The idea of these practices, as LaFleur has said time and time again, is they don't want people being put on the ground. Well, that's exactly what Carson did. Now, I love it. I love seeing the physicality. As a fan, I'm all in. But if LaFleur doesn't want defenders putting people on the ground, he should probably want his offensive players to go about business the same way. And LaFleur admitted after practice that he didn't see the play. He's behind it well on the other side of the field, so he didn't see that aspect of it. I tend to think when he reviews the tape, he might have a little different view of things. But Josh, to his eternal credit, is kind of coming to his the defense of his defensive teammate. Yes, he definitely wrapped up and took him to the ground, something he's not supposed to do. But, hey, he saw somebody be physical with his teammate, and he got physical right back. And Josh Jones obviously has an up-and-down history here these last few years, especially with the trade demand this offseason. But it's hard for me to kill a guy for having his teammates back, which is essentially what he did there. There was a little bit of they got in each other's faces, a big crowd formed around them. There was never a real fight. But after that, yeah, he got pulled to the sideline and did not participate in anything for the rest of the day. So we'll see what comes of that going forward. Bakhtiari on Rich Eisen's show today picked Trevor Davis as a dark horse sleeper for good reason. Davis keeps making plays and has a good connection with Rodgers, and he's first in line as a kick returner, both punt and kickoff. So his path to the 53 is definitely set. Can he keep it up? That's the big question. But early returns would suggest that he's going to be there. Oren Burks, or number 2 inside linebacker, I think we need to upgrade. I don't see nothing but speed with him. It's so hard to tell just yet because they're not allowed to be physical. And he's been in position to make a number of plays. In fact, today he had an excellent play, coverage in the flat that forced Rodgers to pull a ball down and basically eat it for minimal gain on a scramble. He's got value. I wouldn't say that he's bereft of talent or that they absolutely need to move on there. You got to think they're absolutely scouring the waiver wire, possibly exploring trades. So I'm not going to say they're set there, but I think they can win games with him. Dexter Williams getting some good reps in. Absolutely, Brian. Both Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones were out of practice today. Jamal, this is a continuation, but for Aaron Jones, it was something new. It's his first day not participating. He had a hamstring tightness, just tightness, not anything long-term. They just were being overly cautious, holding him out simply as a precaution, according to LaFleur. Clearly, he wants to get him rested up. He didn't mention how important it is for these backs, all of them, to get some hits in preseason work. So undoubtedly, they want to get them on the field and taking some live action hits, reps, because, as LaFleur said, they haven't been tackled in months. So hopefully Jones is ready to go by next Thursday night when the Texans are in town. Darius Shepard, all caps, exclamation points. Let's talk about him. He's made some plays. I don't think he's really stood out. He's definitely got some speed. He's been working as a returner as well. So if he can start making consistent plays day in and day out, maybe he's got a shot. But right now, he hasn't really done enough to warrant consideration on the 53-man roster. But it is very, very early. Only 6 practices in. We'll see what he can do in these next couple days. How's Corey Grant looking? Fast. How would Queen Elizabeth get her Packer tickets? Dustin, I'll tell you how she would do it. She'd go to cheeseheadtv.com, and she would find a link to Ticket King. Either on the homepage or any of our post pages, you'll see a link to Ticket King. They've been around since 1992, conveniently located here in Green Bay across from Lambeau Field, but you can find tickets on Ticket King from anywhere in the world by going to cheeseheadtv.com, following that link, whether it's a preseason game. Luckily enough, if the Packers make a postseason run, if you want postseason tickets, regular season tickets, both home and away. And let me tell you this, for a limited time only, if you use the code PACK2019, that's capital P, PACK2019, you can get 10% off your order. Limited time only, though, so hurry up and check out Ticket King. Will the rookie corner Holman get some decent playing time? It remains to be seen. He is certainly making a case to be on the field. And it's interesting, too, because so far through camp, what they've really kind of done is saved Kevin King as many reps as possible and given them to Holman. Now, today Holman was working both with the frontline guys and with the number 2s and number 3s, but make no mistake about it, Holman is certainly flashing. Every time he's out there, he shows real ability in man coverage. I don't know what's going to happen when things get live in game situations, but I tell you what, so far, every single practice he has made some kind of play, some kind of move, done something to make you go, I think they got something here. We'll see how much that translates into playing time, whether that's in sub, nickel, dime, etc. But they've got to get the kid on the field if he continues down the path he's on right now. With Corey back in town, does that mean old fashions are back on the menu? That's an excellent question, Seattle. We'll find out the answer to that tonight. Make sure you're following along on the Cheesehead TV Instagram. You'll get your answer. How did Dexter Williams look running with the first offense today? Steven, he looked great. I will say I love his running style in this offense. And more importantly, at least to my eyes, in the final well, it wasn't a 2-minute drill. It was the final competitive period. He had a great blitz pickup where he had to come across the formation and pick up a free man. Did a great job stoning him right in the hole so Rodgers could step into a throw, which ultimately Rodgers missed. He threw it behind Devontae Adams. But the blitz pickup was excellent. And from a rookie back, live action, got to pick it up like that, it was really encouraging. Because as we all know, if you want to get on the field, you got to protect 12. You got to do it. You got to keep the franchise upright. And on that particular play, he did a great job. Not a question, just want to say thanks for all you do. David, thank you for checking out Cheesehead TV. Jamon or Trevor Davis? Good question, Jonathan. At this point, you got to give the nod to Trevor Davis simply because of the fact that he's got all these special teams duties. Not only is he returning punts, returning kicks, but he's also a gunner on punt coverage, and he's on the #1 kickoff coverage unit. That's pretty clearly a guy who's, at this point, on the team. And if Jamal Moore wants to be, I mean, I got to think he makes the 53, but on the 46-man game day roster, he's going to have to continue to keep making plays. Now, that said, Jamon has been doing just that. He made another really nice catch today. And the drops, every time I say it, I got to knock on something, but the drops have not appeared yet this summer. Something that was a real problem for him. Corey's asking me a question. I can, when I'm on my computer, I'm not sure, Corey, if I can on my phone. Do you want to give me a name, a shout out? Or no? Okay. Sounds good. Let's see what we got here. Love the real A-Nag here, so much better than the Gannett days. Thanks, Dustin. I like it a lot more, too. No. Who's calling penalties, refs or coaches? Katie, they are referees. They're local refs who work practice. Sometimes they have NFL refs come through, but they haven't been here yet. But, for the most part, they're pretty relaxed. They mostly call procedural stuff, pre-snap penalties and things of that nature. They stay away from calling most PIs and things like that. much to the irksome responses of the players. Just use Ticket King for the Vikings game. Thank you, Keith. Happy to hear it. How did Savage look? Patrick, he was in pads today, and he did take part in the opening walkthrough portion of practice, the very first part when they had offense and defense out there. And then after, sorry, Corey's talking in my ear. But then after that, they put him on the, Corey, I do see them. Thanks. But then after that initial period, Savage was kind of relegated to the sideline again. Raven Green took over during the competitive period. So it's clear they're kind of going to ease him in. LaFleur said just that after practice. But, it's encouraging to see him in pads finally out there for practice number 6. Joseph, thank you so much for the super chat. How's Jair Alexander looking? Fantastic. He did get beat by MVS on a play in the end zone today, the final competitive period. Rodgers threw a 34-yard touchdown pass. Jair claims it was offensive pass interference. I was right there. It happened right in front of me. I say, no, sir. Not offensive pass interference. If anything, it was offsetting penalties. Excellent play by MVS in the end zone for a touchdown. Outside of that, though, Jair has been outstanding. He had a fantastic play to end the competitive period yesterday where Devontae Adams caught a slant, and it looked like he might go for a big gain. And Jair came in and tomahawk chopped the ball right out of his hands, and Blake Martinez recovered. That's just one example. He has been sticky as hell. He's been all over guys, picking up right where he left off. The Packers got one there. He is a talent, and he is going to be big time for Mike Pettin going forward, is my guess. Corey, it's our time now, says C. Corey's just helping me out. Ty Summers hasn't shown up at all yet. He is way behind the rest. From scrimmage, that's true. He has not done a whole lot. But I will tell you what, in a blitz pickup drill today, he absolutely decleated Dexter Williams. Holy cow. You talk about physicality. Maybe it's the frustration that he can't get more playing time, but my word, mercy above. Ty Summers absolutely just obliterated Dexter Williams earlier today. I don't know if that was Kumaro or Brett Swain. Nice. What's my much love from the Bahamas? What's up? Thanks for checking out the stream. There was a play that looked like Zadarius Smith had a clear shot to Rodgers. Oh, and there were a few of those today. There were defensive backs with a clear shot. Zadarius definitely had a clear shot. And I will say, every time Zadarius is in the backfield, he's pulling up because Rodgers has a red jersey on, but he's in the backfield quite a lot. There's no question there. Besides you, why does no one post videos from camp? Because no one's as awesome as I am. No, I'm kidding. If you mean the practice videos, a bunch of people have been starting to on Twitter. It's just, it's a brand new, I'm not going to say rule because they've loosened the rules up a little bit. Packers PR has allowed us now to show really limited drill work on Twitter, on social. I put it on the Cheesehead TV Insta, my Insta, etc. So if you want a little glimpse of stuff going on at practice, make sure you're following all the social channels. Aaron's Story on Insta, Cheesehead TV on Insta. My Twitter handle is @AaronNagler. We've got some very limited stuff. I know you see stuff around the league where people are showing actual plays. We're not allowed to show any of that. But slowly maybe opening things up here in Green Bay, just a little bit. Is Josh Jones forgiven now? He is by me. I said at the start of the stream, man, he was defending his teammate. I have no problem with it. Arizona loves the Packers. I hear you, man. How has Shaun Gary looked so far? Thanks for all this awesome coverage. You guys rock. Thanks, Travis. Thanks for checking it out. Shaun Gary has looked steady. Now, he is an imposing human being. He is undoubtedly going to wreak havoc as the year goes on. I don't think we're going to see him a ton early on. I do think they will bring him along slowly. They spent a lot of money at outside linebacker. He's going to be used on a rotational basis. But I tell you what, there are flashes each and every day of how much he is not of this world physically. There's zero doubt that this man will be a dominant force in the NFL all in due time. But early on, I think he'll be used on a rotational basis. The most fun you have, at least for me, loving like down and dirty line play, is when you see Zadarius and Gary lined up together in sub package down by the center in the guard. Oh, they're rushing from the interior. Oh, daddy, that is good stuff. Can we get a Cheesehead TV meetup next week? Jesse, maybe. We might. Corey and I still got to coordinate a bunch of stuff, but if and when, we will definitely shout it out. We'll let you guys know. We definitely want to do it. What else we got? Brian, offense stretching the field more than previous years. Actually, it's the opposite. I mean, unless you're talking stretching the field horizontally. Vertically, the shots have been few and far between. Now, Rodgers did finally hit MVS there at the end on that 34-yarder. But prior to that, earlier in the practice, he did try, I believe it was the first pass he threw in team today, he tried to hit MVS again deep and missed. Those two just have not really been able to get it going yet, but hopefully that last play today, maybe that sparks something for them. Am I at the Packers fence house? No, I am not. Preston Smith, all caps, question marks. He's been very, very solid. I haven't seen any head-turning kind of plays from him yet. But then again, he is going up against two of the best in Bakhtiari and Bulaga. He does a great job in run support. He's been wonderful in that regard. I haven't seen him do a ton in regards to rushing the passer. Let's see. Do you find training camp looks really different than past years? Gary, I mean, if you're talking about just the construct of practice, it's not too different because it's still, they ride the bikes. It's Nitschke Field. The stands are full. Practice happens. I mean, the music is the main difference. The fact that there's music throughout and then at certain times they really turn it up. That's the biggest difference. But as far as the look and the feel, it's still Packers practice. I've mentioned it before, though, both here and on social. The vibe is definitely different around Green Bay, the team, the camp. It's just different. It's not the same as it was when they were perennial contenders. They've obviously missed the postseason now 2 years in a row. The coupling of how commercialized some of camp has become, along with these kind of maybe lowered expectations, is really subdued things. And it, like I said, doesn't mean that it's not busy, because it is, but there's a noticeable lack of buzz, like there may have been in past years, because I don't think anybody here is thinking Super Bowl. And I know there are people, like probably Corey Banke in this room right over here, who are like, they're going to win 16 games, they're going to go win the Super Bowl, etc. But I think most people, after having missed 2 years of the postseason, are like, okay, let's just get to the playoffs. And if that happens, that's a big reason for celebration. How'd Tanyan look today? AJ, he got a little run with the ones. He was splitting a lot of time with Mercedes Lewis, going back and forth. He looked fine today to me. He didn't really stand out in any way, shape, or form. I didn't see any big-time plays. But that's nature of the beast. Sometimes you're going to shine, sometimes you're not. Jimmy Graham had a great day today. Rodgers went to him a lot. Especially they went, at one point they did a 5-wide, trying to work on pressure in empty situations when they have nobody in the backfield, and Rodgers was on fire. He hit Jimmy Graham a couple of times in that drill. So, there's days when Tanyan's caught a bunch of balls, and there's days when he's just not really involved much. Some of that's going to be what the defense is doing. Some of that is just where Aaron goes with the football. But, LaFleur was asked about him after the practice, and he said he's very excited to see him in preseason game action. I think it's very clear that he's going to be involved, especially in the passing game. What else we got? Sure, Shaun Gary is nice, but he's no Kyler Fackrell. Who is, though? I mean, who is Kyler Fackrell other than the Sackrell? Camp MVP so far. Ooh, good question, Timmy. For me, it's funny. It's got to be a defensive player. I'd probably say Zadarius Smith. He has been the most disruptive, the most impressive, the guy who is the nonstop motor in the backfield all the time, winning. I mean, he beat Bakhtiari twice in one-on-ones yesterday. That never happens, and he did it back-to-back. To me, it's probably Zadarius Smith. All right. I'll take one or two more here. Aaron Jones' hamstring injury, worrisome at all? Same one as last year, correct? I'm not quite sure on which leg it was. We didn't get that designation. I'm sure that will come out later if it hasn't already. What they're saying, and PR was very ardent about this, and LaFleur kind of reinforced this at the podium, very precautionary holding him out today. They have no long-term concerns. We'll see. We all know last summer he was robbed of a good chunk of camp because of a hamstring issue. So hopefully this isn't something like that was, where it lingers for a long time and he misses a bunch of practice time. Is JJ traveling up with the Texans? John, I'm not sure. I haven't really kept track. I know there was some question because of how he started camp, I believe, on the PUP. We'll see. You got to think without JJ, you got to think Jadeveon Clowney probably isn't coming up because he hasn't signed his franchise tender yet. We're going to be noticeably lacking in star power if those things come to pass. Who would you put as wide receiver number 2? At this point, if I had to guess, sitting here today, I'd probably say Geronimo Allison. And I think then it's neck and neck between MVS and EQ. But there's a long way to go. Whole lot of ball game left there. And with that said, I'm gonna kick it. Thank you so much, everybody, for checking out Packers Daily today. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel or tell someone you know to subscribe to the channel. And if you're on Facebook, like, share with your friends, your family, anybody who's a Packers fan all over the world. We want to be here for them. We're here every day at Packers camp talking to you guys after every practice. And, hey, if you like what we do, please consider joining our Patreon, patreon.com/cheeseheadtv. It's only $5 a month. It supports everything we do. Or you can even get a little bit more involved with some of the levels that we have for producing Packer transplants. That's right. You can be a producer for Packer transplants. All right, everybody. I'm going to go. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.